You ever catch yourself thinking, if I could just make a little more money, everything would calm down? Like you're sitting there on a random Tuesday night. You've paid most of the bills, not all of them, most. Your bank account isn't empty, but it's not exactly relaxed either. You're scrolling through Instagram and someone you went to school with just bought a new car. Another friend is on vacation somewhere with water so blue it almost looks fake. And you think, yeah, that's the problem. I just don't make enough. If I made 10,000 more a year, I'd breathe easier. If I doubled my income, I'd finally feel secure. If I hit 6 figures, I'd stop worrying all the time. That's the fantasy, right? More money equals less stress. More money equals more freedom. More money equals a better life. Honestly, I used to believe that completely. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money. Not just how to earn it, but how it messes with our heads. Why some people make more and still feel stuck. Why others make less and somehow sleep better at night. And why the number in your bank account rarely fixes the thing you thought it would fix. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. For a lot of people, the moment they start making more, their life doesn't get better. It just gets more expensive. And that shift, that quiet, sneaky shift, is what I want to talk about today. Not in a preachy way, not in a money doesn't matter way. It does matter. It absolutely does. If you're struggling to pay rent or buy groceries, more income is not some illusion. It's real relief. But beyond a certain point, something strange happens. You earn more, you upgrade your life, and somehow you're still anxious, still restless, still thinking the next raise will finally do it. So what's going on? Why does high income sometimes feel like a treadmill instead of an escape? And more importantly, what do you actually do about it? Let's unpack it slowly. The first illusion is this: we confuse income with identity. When you get a raise or land a better job, it doesn't just change your bank balance, it changes how you see yourself. Suddenly, you're not just doing okay, you're successful, you're moving up, you're someone. And that feels amazing. For a while. I remember when I first crossed a personal income milestone I'd been chasing for years. I thought it would feel like crossing a finish line, fireworks, relief, validation. Instead, it felt normal. Good, sure, but not life-altering. Then something subtle happened. My standards shifted. The apartment I used to love felt small. The car I once appreciated felt outdated. The restaurants I used to consider special became just okay. Nothing was technically wrong, but my baseline had moved. This is lifestyle inflation, and it's not just about buying nicer stuff. It's about upgrading your expectations. Here's how it usually plays out. You get a raise. You tell yourself you'll save most of it, and you probably do at first, but then you think, well, I work hard, I deserve a better place, a better neighborhood, better clothes. You upgrade your phone, you travel a bit more comfortably, you stop checking prices as often. Individually, each decision feels reasonable, but collectively, they rebuild your entire cost structure. Now, your normal life costs more, and guess what? Your new income suddenly feels necessary, not abundant. That's the trap. The raise that was supposed to create freedom now just maintains a more expensive version of the same pressure. Why does this matter to you? Because if you don't notice this shift, you'll keep chasing income milestones thinking they're finish lines, but they're not. They're moving targets. Actionable takeaway? Every time your income increases, freeze your lifestyle temporarily. Give yourself 3 months. Let the extra money sit. Watch how your brain tries to spend it. That discomfort is revealing. You'll learn more about yourself in that gap than in any budgeting app. The second illusion is believing money fixes emotional discomfort. We don't just want money for practical reasons, we want it for psychological ones. We want to feel safe, respected, impressive, in control. And money does influence those things, but it doesn't permanently secure them. I once met someone who made what most people would call a lot. Big house, nice car, multiple income streams. From the outside, textbook success. Privately, he was terrified. Terrified of losing it, terrified of being exposed as not good enough, terrified that if the income stopped, his identity would collapse. More money hadn't removed fear, it had upgraded it. Instead of worrying about paying bills, he worried about maintaining status. Instead of fearing rejection, he feared irrelevance. Different numbers, same anxiety. This is hedonic adaptation, but emotional. Your nervous system gets used to whatever level you're at, then it looks for the next threat. If you were insecure at $30,000 a year, you might still be insecure at $300,000. The story just changes. Why it matters? Because if you're using income to outrun insecurity, you'll never catch it. The actionable shift here is internal. Start asking, what do I think money will solve for me emotionally? Is it safety? Then build an emergency fund, yes, but also build skills, build relationships, build resilience. Is it respect? Then work on your confidence independent of your paycheck. Is it freedom? Then define freedom clearly. Is it time? Is it location flexibility? Is it reduced stress? Clarity reduces chasing. The fourth illusion is believing high income automatically creates happiness. There's this cultural script that says once you make it, your problems downgrade. But life doesn't work like a video game. You don't unlock an income level and suddenly play on easy mode. Higher income often brings more responsibility, more expectations, more visibility, more pressure to maintain performance. I've talked to people who earn more in a month than people earn in a year, and they're exhausted, not because money is bad, but because the trade-offs are real. They can't disconnect, they can't say no easily, they can't slow down without consequences. Sometimes they miss the simplicity of earlier years, not the lower income, but the lower stakes. Here's a small personal observation. When I was younger and earning less, my biggest stress was paying rent. That was real stress. I don't romanticize it. But when I earned more, the stress didn't disappear. It multiplied into a web of decisions, investments, taxes, career moves, expectations from others. It became more complex. Money reduces certain problems, it introduces others. This matters because if you assume happiness scales directly with income, you might sacrifice things that actually make you happy in pursuit of a number. Actionable takeaway? Define your enough. Not in a vague way, in numbers. What income covers your lifestyle, savings goals, and a margin for comfort? Once you know that, extra income becomes optional optimization, not survival. That shift is powerful. The fourth illusion is comparing your income to everyone else's. Comparison is gasoline on the high income illusion. You could be earning more than you ever imagined 5 years ago, but if someone in your circle earns more, suddenly you feel behind. Social media amplifies this. You don't see average Tuesdays, you see curated wins. You see business class flights, new homes, investment wins. You don't see the debt, the stress, the trade-offs. Comparison moves your goalposts without your consent. And here's the kicker. There is no top. There is always someone earning more. If your satisfaction depends on being ahead, you've signed up for permanent dissatisfaction. Why it matters? Because your financial strategy should align with your values, not someone else's highlight reel. Actionable advice: limit financial comparison inputs. Audit who you follow. Pay attention to how you feel after scrolling. And occasionally, look backward. Compare yourself to your past self. That version of you probably thinks you're doing pretty well. The fifth illusion is confusing spending with progress. When income rises, spending often becomes a proxy for growth. You move into a bigger space, you upgrade your wardrobe, you dine at better places. It feels like upward movement, and some upgrades are genuinely meaningful. Comfort matters, experiences matter, but spending can also become symbolic. You buy to signal that you've arrived. The danger is when external upgrades outpace internal growth. I've seen people triple their income but never learn how to manage money well. They just scale their chaos. More money in, more money out. No peace. Here's a simple breakdown. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Peace is how you feel about both. You can have high income and low wealth. You can have high income and low peace. The goal is alignment. Actionable step: track net worth, not just income. Watch what you own minus what you owe. That number tells a deeper story. And ask yourself before big purchases, does this improve my daily life or just my image? Be honest, no one else needs to hear the answer. The sixth illusion is thinking freedom automatically comes with income. We say we want more money for freedom, and that makes sense, but freedom isn't just about how much you earn, it's about how much control you have. If your high income depends on 70-hour weeks, constant availability, or a job you secretly hate, is that freedom, or is that a golden cage? I once met someone who left a high-paying corporate role for a lower income path that gave him control over his time. On paper, it looked like a downgrade. In reality, his stress dropped, his health improved, his relationships strengthened. He didn't just change income, he changed structure. Freedom is about optionality. Can you say no? Can you take a break? Can you pivot if you need to? High income helps, but only if you design for flexibility. Actionable advice: build a runway. Save enough to cover 6 to 12 months of expenses.
Reduce fixed costs where possible. Diversify skills. Income gives you power, but savings and low obligations give you leverage. The seventh illusion is that someday you'll feel secure enough. This one is subtle. You tell yourself, once I hit this number, I'll relax. Then you hit it, and your brain quietly whispers, yeah, but what about inflation? What about job stability? What about retirement? What about that person who earns more? Security becomes a moving horizon. There's nothing wrong with ambition. Growth is healthy, but if your nervous system is permanently braced for impact, no income level will calm it. Security is partly financial. It's also psychological. It's the belief that you can handle change. You can lose money and rebuild. You can adapt. You're not fragile. That belief doesn't come from income alone. It comes from experience, skills, perspective. Actionable step: build competence. Learn how to invest. Learn how taxes work. Learn how to create income, not just earn it. Competence reduces fear more effectively than raw income. So where does that leave us? Is money pointless? No, not at all. Money is a tool, a powerful one. It can reduce suffering, it can create options, it can buy time, it can support the people you love, but it's not a personality transplant. It won't automatically heal insecurity. It won't automatically create meaning. It won't automatically bring peace. The high income illusion is believing that a bigger number fixes internal misalignment. And the reason this matters is because you might be closer to enough than you think. If you're constantly chasing the next income milestone without defining what it's for, you risk building a life that looks impressive and feels empty. So pause for a second. What do you actually want? More time? Less stress? Creative freedom? Security for your family? A sense of progress? Write that down. Then design your financial life around those outcomes, not just around earning more. Sometimes earning more is part of the answer. Sometimes spending less is. Sometimes it's changing careers. Sometimes it's adjusting expectations. And sometimes, honestly, it's just realizing that you've been running on a treadmill that never had a finish line. You don't have to stop striving. Just make sure you're striving towards something real. Because the goal isn't high income, it's a high quality life. And those two things overlap, but they are not the same. If you can separate them, even slightly, you'll make calmer decisions. You'll feel less pulled by comparison. You'll recognize when enough is enough. And that shift, that's where real freedom starts.